The Central Bank of Malta is issuing Directive number 19 to regulate the use of cheques and bank drafts to make them a safer method of payment. This directive will come into effect on January 1st, 2022. This directive may affect you, and it is therefore important to understand the requirements to see what actions you may need to take. As from 2022, cheques cannot be issued for amounts of €20 or less. To whom did you issue cheques for €20 or less? Consider how else you could have paid these persons or companies. Would you have used a direct debit? Can you use a bank card, mobile payment for these amounts? In the past, cheques could have been endorsed on the back and passed on to someone else to encash or deposit. This was also allowed during COVID-19 for payee-only cheques to protect vulnerable people who would otherwise have had to go in person to the bank. This is going to change on January 1st, 2022. If a cheque is made out to you, you are the only one that will be able to deposit or encash it. There are a number of requirements in the directive aimed at making cheques safer for all concerned. For example, cheques over €5,000 can only be deposited into the account whose name is on the cheque, and they cannot be withdrawn in cash. However, cash can then be withdrawn to an ATM, or else you could also pay for goods and services by using a card or by other electronic means. Do not write cheques with a date in the future. This would not be allowed from 2022. A number of measures are also being introduced to protect those who receive cheques. For example, if a person repeatedly issues cheques without having sufficient funds in his or her account, or provide the required information, the bank will withdraw the checking facilities of this person. Over the coming months, there will be an educational campaign supported by various stakeholders affected, such as banks, the business community, and consumer associations. There are detailed guidelines on the Central Bank of Malta website, together with a dedicated email, Directive 19 at centralbankmalta.org for any queries.